Have you ever wondered who really runs the world? Why presidents, billionaires, and influential politicians are always connected with the same closed organizations? Today, we will look at who the Freemasons and Illuminati are, why their symbols are everywhere, and what they have been hiding from us for hundreds of years. The Freemasons are one of the most closed organizations in history. They are called the world government in the shadows, but officially they are just a charitable society of influential people. They originated back in the Middle Ages among Masons who built temples and cathedrals. Over time, their fraternity became an elite club, which included politicians, scientists, and businessmen. Many U.S. presidents were members of the Freemasons, including George Washington, Franklin Roosevelt, and Theodore Roosevelt. No wonder their symbolism even made it onto the dollar. The pyramid with the all-seeing eye is still controversial. But why are Freemasons so popular among world leaders? By joining the lodge, a person receives not only the support of brothers, but also powerful connections that help him in business, politics, and career. And what is most interesting, they never give away their own. The Illuminati is an even more mysterious organization. They are called the Illuminated Ones, and they did indeed want to enlighten humanity, but not at all in the way you might think. The Illuminati Order appeared in Bavaria in 1776, founded by Professor Adam Weishaupt. They were against the church, the monarchy, and all traditional foundations. Their goal was to create a society where reason, not kings, ruled. This idea so frightened the authorities that in 1785, the order was officially banned. But did the Illuminati disappear? Many are sure that no. They simply went into the shadows and began to operate through other organizations, Freemasons, political parties, and banks. So why do these organizations still influence the world? We see their symbolism in architecture, on banknotes, in the logos of large companies. Masons and Illuminati have always sought power, and power is information, money, and control. They don't write the laws, but they know how to control those who write them. But here's the big question. If the Illuminati is banned and the Freemasons are just a club, why hasn't their influence gone anywhere? Who are they really? Defenders of humanity or puppeteers who move the world in the direction they want? The French Revolution of 1789 is one of the most significant events in history. The king was overthrown, the people gained freedom, and the old order collapsed. But have you ever wondered who was behind these changes? One of the main inspirations behind the revolution was the philosopher Voltaire, and he was a Freemason. As were many of the other leaders of the revolution, their ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity coincided with Masonic principles. But what's most interesting is that there were over 600 Masonic lodges in France by that time. Their members were part of the government, the army, and even the church. Is it possible to consider that the revolution happened by itself? Or was it a carefully planned process to destroy the monarchy and build a new world? Another example is the emergence of the United States of America. Many of the founding fathers of the United States were Freemasons, including George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. Even the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., is built on Masonic symbols. The U.S. coat of arms bears the Latin inscription Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages. This phrase is suspiciously reminiscent of the Illuminati's idea of a new world order. Coincidence? Hardly. It was the Freemasons who laid the principles of American democracy. They espoused the ideas of freedom, independence, and equal opportunity. But what if their real goal was to create a state that would become an instrument of global control? We are used to thinking that revolutions and wars are the struggle of the people against the government. But what if the same people were behind most historical events? If this is not chaos, but a plan that has been carried out for hundreds of years? The Freemasons and Illuminati didn't just leave a mark on history, They may have written it. And if so, what are they planning next? Freemasons call themselves a fraternity that seeks self-discovery and development. But if their goals are so noble, then why the secrecy? The answer is simple. Knowledge is power, and power likes to be kept in a narrow circle. You can't just join the Freemasons. First, you have to go through an initiation ritual. And this is where the most interesting part begins. The newcomer is blindfolded, put a rope around his neck, and led through a dark hall. This symbolizes his death as an ordinary person. This is followed by a resurrection, a sign that he is now reborn as a Freemason. Sound like the plot of a mystical movie? But these are real traditions that have been passed down for centuries. Freemasons never speak of their affiliation openly, but they do leave symbols that can be found everywhere. A hand in a vest. Have you seen the portrait of Napoleon where he holds his hand by the half of his uniform? This gesture was considered a Masonic sign of high initiation. Stalin, Washington, and many others posed in the same pose, the all-seeing eye. The triangle with an eye is one of the most famous symbols. It is on the dollar, in architecture, and even in the logos of large companies. Columns and checkerboard floor. In many historic buildings, you can find Masonic columns and a floor resembling a chessboard. This is also part of their tradition. Now imagine, if even initiation into Freemasonry is associated with resurrection, what rituals can their highest members perform? And most importantly, why would they pass these traditions from generation to generation? Ordinary clubs don't do that. Maybe their symbolism is not just signs, but part of ancient knowledge that is not meant for everyone. Many famous personalities who have left a mark on history were Freemasons. For example, Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister who led the country through World War II, and Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, are considered members of Masonic lodges. These men made decisions that changed the course of history, and although they didn't advertise their affiliation, it didn't stop them from influencing the course of events. So who exactly is behind these men? Masonic lodges, as they have been in the past, were important places to exchange ideas and address key issues, many of which concerned not only the country, but the world. Of course, one might say that these are mere coincidences. But if you look deeper, it becomes obvious that the Freemasons and Illuminati can control not only politics and historical events, but also the global economy. Their influence on the decisions of major corporations and international banks suggests that this is not just a secret fraternity, but a real power operating behind the scenes. But what are they really planning for the future? Do they have hidden agendas that have yet to be revealed to a wider audience? In 2004, documents surfaced in the Italian press that shocked the country. It became known that Freemasons could be linked to high-profile political conspiracies. These documents confirmed that Freemasons had infiltrated the highest echelons of power, influenced politicians' decisions, and even tried to manipulate election results. This case became a real bombshell, as such details about the political connections of Freemasons for the first time appeared in the public domain. After that, a major scandal erupted, and journalists and experts began to look at the power in Italy and other high-profile politicians around the world in a new way. This is proof that Freemasons can influence politics, even if it is behind secret doors. Another intriguing story occurred in 2013 when Pope Benedict XVI unexpectedly resigned. It was a sensational event because before that, no one remembered cases when the Pope left his post. And here comes a version that his resignation could be related to pressure from secret societies, including the Freemasons and the Illuminati. Some believe that his departure was part of a larger plan involving powerful and hidden forces. This takes us to a new level. Secret societies can influence not only politics, but also religious institutions that have traditionally been considered out of their reach. Can we really know all the secrets of the Freemasons and Illuminati? At first glance, it would seem that these societies hide too much information for us to have access to uncover their conspiracies. However, as examples from history show, sometimes secrets reveal themselves. But here's the interesting thing. If so many facts keep surfacing, does that mean they can no longer control everything? And if they are losing their power, who is currently behind them?